Right. Put the pedal to the metal, pals and gals, because we are on the road to SpiceWorld. I'm Jeff Gredler, head brand ambassador for SpiceWorks, and we are live in the shadow of the AT&T Hotel and Conference Center, where in exactly 18 days, we are going to kick off the kick-ass tech conference known as SpiceWorld. That's right. So before we get started here, if you're watching this live and you don't see the chat, make sure you log in with your community account, hit going, so you can chat along with our friends like Michael, Mad Spicehead, Path Rusher, and Sean, waving to us with that awesome image. So thank you guys so much for joining us today. This is episode 4 of 6 of our Road to Spice World series, and we are coming off hot of a great event that we had with our friends at Rippling IT last week at Cidercade. So just another heads up for that. Oh, I just got logged out. Thank you, corporate. Why'd you log me out? Anyway, but yes. So in case you need to know, if you did attend that live event, you are eligible for a promo code that'll give you a nice juicy discount to join us in 18 days at SpiceWorld. So I'm not going to do this by ourselves. So speaking of that, let's bring in some friends. I'm gonna just have to wing it, right? Because corporate decided he's live. Let's log him off. But it's okay. I remember his name. He's one of the best rippling rock stars out there. So please welcome Michael Hendricks.
Hey,
Mike, what's up, man?
Thank you very much for that intro. Like I say, I knew you were enthusiastic, but I really appreciated the energy there. Thank you so much.
No, it's all good. And I think it's just adrenaline flowing when all of a sudden it says, you need to re-authenticate right now. It's just like right now I need to do that. So you see there's IT problems always be having. That's why we have partners like Rippling to help us out.
That's what we're all here to fix, right? Get you logged back in.
So Mike, just real quick, just kind of give an intro for our audience and our community members out there, who you are and what you do.
For sure. Very happy to. So for anyone I haven't met yet, which I'm guessing is most of you, unfortunately could not make the Cidercade event. Heard that was awesome though. But I'm Michael. I run content for Rippling IT, which means that I get to do like really fun stuff like this with Jeff and kind of go and tell the world what we're up to at Rippling IT. So that's what I'm here to do today as well.
Yeah, and we appreciate it. And you get a shout out. You get a flame emoji from our friend Carter, who's out there in the community as well. Watching along. Thanks so much.
Boy. Thank you, Carter.
Yes, I appreciate it. But yeah, thanks, Mike, for coming on here. But we love Rippling. We love when our vendors are super enthusiastic and kind of understand and speak IT. Right? I've been IT for 25 years. We have a little bit of a quirky sense because we got to do that, right? Otherwise, we'd go mad. So we appreciate partners like Rippling in that. So thanks for coming on. So speaking of quirky IT pros, we thought we need to have another surprise guest. That has been the theme so far since we brought back our live stream, a surprise guest. So I thought it would be very fitting to bring in the Rippling IT pro superhero. Please welcome the head of the Spice Buddies, Cynthia Kemeny. Did I say your name?
That's okay. Hey, everybody. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you. Put some notes. Just ready with the double hand wave. That was good.
It's a double wave. So Sin, thank you so much for coming on here and representing our community and representing Spice Buddies. You're definitely a lot of the wind beneath the wings when it comes to the community, right? It takes community members like you to make us go. So thank you for coming on today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really, of course, everybody knows I love to talk about SpiceWorks and SpiceWorld.
Yes. So, and it's funny, and you know what, when I was sitting there trying to pick, just like going through, it's like, oh, who would be a good one for this show as I'm trying to book it out. And I saw that awesome piece of artwork, which if I would have thought about it, I would have had it handy when it was just like, hey, I recognize that superhero right there. That when it popped up on LinkedIn, and that's when the wheels really started turning. So it's just like, she's perfect for this event.
Yeah, I have to say, I was really honored and humbled to be named one of the IT pros for Rippling. It means a lot when your community gets behind you like that and recognizes your accomplishments, your pains, all of those things in IT. And I mean, that's really what this community is about, is recognizing each other, helping out, and pumping each other up. So it was really, really, again, I was honored and humbled both.
Yes, and very well deserved. So, but yeah, we're on the road to Spice World, so we'll get the parties going. So, Mike, we'll start with you. So, we kind of, what the idea about this show is to create a little FOMO, right? Just like we wish it would be Spice World like a lot more often. Like it takes forever to get here and also flies to get here. So we thought, let's get a show to create some FOMO, some pregame, some tailgating, if you will. So we like to do a little bit of teasers here. So can you give us some teasers of what Rippling has coming up for Spice World 2025 in exactly 18 days?
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's like Christmas, right? It comes but once a year.
Yes.
But yeah, so hey, everyone, again, super glad and proud myself to be representing Rippling IT on the road to Spice World. So we're very, very proud to be sponsoring the conference this year, and the team is really excited to see you all there in just a couple of weeks now, as Jeff just said. So we are also very, very excited for a bunch of the fun stuff that we're bringing along with us this year. It's not just our people. We have a lot of stuff we're bringing with us. So we may as well start with that, because I think that's kind of the most fun to talk about. We're going to bring a bunch of personalized swag options that you guys will be able to take with you as you head home from the conference. That's like one of the most fun things about conferences. So I will not get super specific there in the interest of mysterious allure, but I can disclose this one part, which is that there is live embroidery involved. So I'm not going to say any more. That's all I can say on the advice. I have to seal my lips there, but I guess you'll just have to swing by 400 to find out what the object of said embroidery action will be. No spoilers. But you could try and get out of Jeff or Cynthia or someone else on my team. I think they will know, but they've all been sworn to secrecy, so I wish you luck.
That's right.
You can also find us at the Spice Buddies / Rippling Happy Hour. That is on Wednesday, so the 12th, and that is from 6 to 9 p.m. So that's going to be at the convention center. There will be a merch station there as well. So please be sure to try and get there early before stuff runs out if you want to get your hands on stuff. On account of happy hour, of course, the drinks will be flowing. We will also have a caricature artist there on the scene to do some portraits. So that'll be extra fun because that'll kind of be part of our IT superhero theme, which you've probably seen online at this point. And we'll touch on a little bit more with a little video teaser at the end of my spiel here. But so with the IT hero stuff, like while that is all in good fun with the comic book style and everything, in all seriousness, we do happen to think, as Cynthia was alluding to there, that the sheer breadth of work that many of you are asked to do on a daily basis, which does not typically earn all of the plaudits it should, we really do believe that is credibly described and should be described as heroic. And we have a ton of respect for the work that you guys do day in, day out. So much of our time at Spice World this year, we'll be celebrating those of you who put on the mask and cape every day, as it were, and we're pretty excited about that. So we hope you guys are too. Now, to switch gears just a little in terms of like what we're going to be talking about, because we will be presenting 2 30-minute tech talks at the conference this year on the main stage. So I'm going to briefly outline those for you guys. and then we can get back into fun stuff. But first up, we will have the head of our IT solutions consulting team, a guy you might know named Todd Horner, who is also the man, talking about what is really quickly becoming a pressing issue in our field, and that is sorting hype from reality as pertains to AI and IT today. Not tomorrow, although that is always something that we need to be concerned about, but today, because as these tools are getting to be more and more embedded in the way we all work, it raises a ton of tricky questions that are very important for us to answer as best we can around how those can be implemented securely. What are the actual areas of primary concern to IT and security teams today, as opposed to what might be coming someday? So Todd will be taking a look at that. We kind of call that like our big picture talk of the two. Our second talk will be more narrowly focused on what the Rippling IT product can do. And that's going to be specific to detecting and resolving access drift, a pretty persistent problem that I'm sure you guys are aware of, but we think flies under the radar a bit in terms of what tends to be front of mind with IAM. And that's kind of the point with drift, that there are these small, frequently imperceptible shifts in who has access to what, that can become extremely perceptible all of a sudden if they are left unaddressed for long periods of time. An analogy that we would use here is that of maybe like a tiny leak in a pipe. You're not going to notice at first, but if you let it continue, eventually that water pools and you would find that you have a very, very real and big problem. And we have some examples of where that has gone wrong for big prominent companies in that presentation, and like what that can look like and what to be aware of. So that will be one of our product leads here at Rippling IT, a good friend of mine named Alex Meadow. He's fittingly going to be giving the more product-oriented talk. So I think you guys will all really enjoy both of those sessions. We hope to see you all at both, of course. And I think that does it for the Tech Talk details. But we do have one more exciting thing to share with you that I briefly alluded to above. That is a short video we made as part of the aforementioned IT Heroes campaign. So please, if you've got 45 more seconds of attention to give to me, now would be the time. And while you're watching, maybe you can pick up a couple of ideas to give the caricature artist that you will see at that happy hour. So you will see why that makes sense in a moment here. If you wouldn't mind playing that video, Jeff.
I don't mind at all. Here we go. Check it out. It's so good.
Love that outro.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna give it. Yeah, I'm gonna give some clapping for that. That video turned out great. It really did.
We will take it. Yeah, we were proud of that one. So I hope you guys like that. But, yeah,
it's very hard to get people's attention online, and it got my attention. Like I said, when I seen some of the character work, and then when I saw this video that Rippling did, and that obviously at SpiceWorks video was near and dear to my heart. So when I see something like gets my attention like that, props to you for doing that. I was again, so yeah, very well done,
Jeff. That's basically our job. So yeah, got your attention. Good. Yeah, that really concludes my spiel. So I will now officially pass the mic back to you. But
awesome. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, we'll now, Sin, what was your feelings when you saw that video right there? Like, how'd that make you feel knowing that you were one of the superheroes?
Oh man, you know what? First of all, that video is awesome, because I really feel that all IT pros are definitely IT heroes. Like you said, we are so unsung. We go so unrecognized until something, crashes down around us. Then everybody knows who we are. So that video just really makes me feel so incredibly appreciated and heard that Rippling would, go to those lengths for us. It's fantastic.
Yeah, no. Again, we all know that feeling, right? We, walking around the office and the people, they give you a certain look when you know they need you versus when they see you, recognize you. But now when they need you, all of a sudden you just feel like laser beams are coming at you, like, oh no, that means something's wrong. Like, why are you looking at me like this? Just like all of a sudden my fight or flight starts to kick in, like something's wrong is why you're looking at me like that.
I try not to make eye contact and move really fast.
Yeah, exactly. Like Matt Spice said in the chat, says they swarm you, right? And it literally does. We've had, I think that was the genesis of the first zombie movie we did. It was just like the feeling of being swarmed. So Mike, this is what you're dealing with. You really are like, it's like you're helping your therapy in a way, having a partner like Rippling to help us.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Very, very happy to be the sounding board, because we couldn't agree more. There's nothing worse than kind of only being recognized when a problem exists, as opposed to not getting credit for when problems do not exist, which is much of the job as well, preventing those situations from happening in the first place. Yeah, I think that's something that a lot of us can relate to, and patently unfair. So,
and sometimes it's a happy problem. Like Mike in the chat says, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. When things are like when we're not hearing from people, that means we've done our job right and we didn't get sucker punched.
That can be a good sign. Yeah.
But we never say that out loud.
No, we don't. Yeah, I was knocking on wood so fast in there, you just couldn't see my hands. So, Sen, let's just talk a little bit about like SpiceWorld, right? So, what number SpiceWorld is this for you? This is
I think 11.
11, right?
That's 11. We did including virtual.
Right. No, you 100% count if you saw everything we had to do to make virtual happen, count virtual.
So I've been a steady attendee since 2014.
That's awesome. So you're coming up on a decade of joining us here. So what are you most excited about, like, this year for 2025?
Oh my gosh. You know what? Honestly, what I'm really looking forward to for attending SpiceWorks or SpiceWorld is seeing all of the familiar faces again. I mean, the people I've laughed with online all year, finally getting to talk in person, share stories, swap ideas. I mean, I just love I love watching the first-time attendees come in just wide-eyed and leave completely hooked on the energy of it all. Like, there's this moment every year when you walk into the convention center and there is this buzz, just hundreds of IT pros, totally that get each other. It's more than just sessions and vendors. It's a sense of community that you don't really find anywhere else. So, I mean, and of course, I'm excited to learn new things. There's always some new tool or trick that sparks an idea that I can take home. But honestly, it's the connections that stay with me the longest. The random hallway conversations, the laughter, the, hey, I know you from the community moment. That's what makes SpiceWorld feel less like a conference and more like a family reunion of IT folks. Yeah,
no, 100% agree on that reunion. I love that feeling of just like, because again, we deal with each other all year long via our avatars or our screen names. You have the moment where somebody all of a sudden gets introduced by their real name, and then you put two and two together of what their avatar name is. You're just going to be like, oh, you're Ode to Joy. I had no idea. It's just like, and then all of a sudden everything is just like you've been talking all along. And of course, Slava said in the chat, and then there's Slava. Of course, you get to experience like, it's just like, you think it's an experience virtually. Wait till you experience it IRL.
Correct. Just wait.
But it's interesting you say that, because it's just like, I think there's this conception of, technology professionals being very introverted, right? And that is the case with an asterisk, because I think the asterisk is SpiceWorks Community, right? SpiceWorld. Like, I was like, okay, I don't feel like going to that thing. Okay, wait, there's going to be some Spice heads there. Okay, yeah, I'll go. Right? Right. Like, there's just I don't know if you want to call it band of brothers and sisters, right? Of just like that feeling of just like, we know we go through the same thing, and we don't, like, we have a shorthand. We have a lot of the same pains. We understand a lot of the inside jokes, even if you work in different companies across the, the country. It's just like, it's just there. And I think that's why we're always that IRL exception is the Spiceworks community, which just makes this place so great.
100%. I couldn't have said it better, because yes, a lot of us are introverted. I myself truly am not any type of public speaker. I spend a lot of time alone because I'm in IT, and have a lot of issues communicating with people outside of IT. But I don't have that issue here. We're all IT. We're all different aspects of IT, but we're still all IT. And again, so many people that I have been friends with now for so many years that I met through this SpiceWorks community. I mean, some of my very best friends, Slava, for instance, one of my very best friends, we're in touch all year in the community, outside of the community, on the phone, on the Discord, on text. So, I mean, and I have many friends like that I've made through this community. So it is really is like a bit of a family reunion. Even when I am meeting people for the first time, we already have this understanding that, we are very much alike. So there's no reason to be shy or standoffish. And of course, some people are, and that's okay also. But we all understand that about each other.
Yeah, no, 100%. And Mike, just to, involve when we say community is not just the community is the IT professionals, but community also is the spice workers, and community is our technology vendor friends, right? The green guys, and that's part of that community as well, which is great at SpiceWorld. When you see this intermingling, it really works. So I know you have some stuff going on that you're not going to get to join us this year, unfortunately, but we're gonna fix that in the future for sure. But we would just kind of like, that's our pitch to you. Like, if you have to go to Ben, shout out to Ben. Ben is awesome. Ben's your boss, and he is awesome. But like, just getting to understand, like, you just can't replace that. Like, when you all of a sudden, like, oh, you're Mike from Rippling. Oh, okay. Because you've posted like these great memes, but also you jumped in a couple of tech chats and stuff. This is the culmination of that, right? That's why I always compare this to our WrestleMania. This is like all of a sudden the main event, because now the culmination of all the work you put into the community all year happens there. And man, when you, after that Spice World high, that buzz that you get, now your shorthand is there. Now the communication's there. And you really did realize that, it is a partnership between, the tech vendors and the IT pros. That's what really encompasses the SpiceWorks community.
Yeah, totally. And like, not to put Ben on blast, of course, but honestly, like, part of the reason I can't make it is we have a lot of people from Rippling who are really, really excited to be there, and people who have a better reason to be there than I do.
Right.
So my claim was not as strong as God, because he's going to actually be explaining things.
That's that's a happiness problem for Ben, that you have a full bench of Rippling rock stars, right?
Totally.
You get to meet Devin. Yeah. And I got to talk to Todd a little bit, at the Cidercade event, and to talk about his live thing. If you did not see that is actually in this community post, but it's also on our YouTube page, really just kind of encompassing like what he's going to dig in to talk. And he's going to get really a good swarm of people that are just going to want to like, we need to know more.
Totally. And, like you were saying, Cynthia, I think like the talks are great. Like, we obviously want to, try and provide value while we're there, and like explain, aspects of the product or how we're thinking about these really big problems and technology today. But to your point, like, at the end of the day, the main point of us being there is the community aspect that you guys, I think, have been describing like kind of beautifully. Not to be like melodramatic about it, but like, it is like, I will wax poetic here for a moment. We live in like a rather disconnected world in many ways now. We certainly work in a very disconnected world these days. Opportunities for people to be in the same place and talk about common problems is incredibly powerful. I know Ben believes that really firmly. So do I. I know the whole team does. And that's like a really outsized reason of why we're excited to be such a big part of this event. So like, I would just second everything that you two said about like why this is important, why this really matters, over and above, lectures. While great, and those are going to be interesting. I worked on those decks, so you still have to go listen to what they have to say, but it's about more than that.
Well, if I didn't articulate it enough, and I'm sure I didn't, I mean, the vendors play a humongous part in this community. And that's why, we really love to meet vendors, and why we feel for the vendors, it's important for them to meet us. It's one thing to send emails and webinars, but being able to shake hands and maybe share a taco together with someone, it creates like a genuine connection. I mean, vendors get to listen to us directly, to listen to our challenges, not filtered through marketing data. The attendees can size up the people behind the products, and that trust, that's what leads to these long-term partnerships. So that is, I mean, I can go on and on about reasons why it's important that vendors come and support us, for the benefit of both the vendors and the attendees. But I'll stop there unless you want me to keep going.
No, you're right on the money. I'm the guy, now that I'm in this new role at SpiceWorks, where I'll go to other conferences and I'll talk to the tech vendors, and if I find out they're not in SpiceWorks, I'll take them down a dirt road fast, because they're on their super highway of just like everything polished and shiny, and they're going, and then they got their spiel, and then all of a sudden we pull over, and then I give them the SpiceWorks feel of just like, no, we're going to get to know each other, because in the end, our friend Glenn Pitchford put this really well last week. We can't do this job without relationships. Mike, you really nailed it. It's just like, there's so many ways to be connected in this world, yet there's a disconnect that happens in a lot of aspects of the business. And, the community is trying to plug that, fill that need of just like of relationships, because that's all I've ever done. I have, 2 brothers and 2 nephews and tons of friends that are all in tech, and some of the best stuff that you ever get is just like talking to each other, communicating with each other. Hey, I have this problem. Hey, I have this problem. We get to do that in the community every day. So right. When you have I'm not saying there's not a need for like, it's like this, like you call it, Mike, just like, here's the official spiel. There's a need for it, right? Because eventually you got to get to that white paper of it.
When it boils down to it, Jeff, Mike, at the end of the day, people buy from people.
Yes.
So I can have that email conversation over and over again. But that isn't really gaining my trust. And it's certainly not building loyalty. So again, People buy from people, people help each other out. We throw ideas off of each other. We come to each other for support. And, being able to get to know someone over a laugh or some swag or a raffle. I mean, those are the important things, because they make your brand unforgettable. So Now when I need something, maybe I didn't need it when I was at the conference, but something's going to come up and I'm going to be like, oh yeah, I remember that guy.
Yes.
Right. He's the one that gave me that super cool superhero shirt.
That's right.
They have that MDM. That's who I'm going to call. And I'm going to think that you're going to remember me too, just because, we all think we're the best. I mean, that's super important. I mean, there's strength in community and in brand loyalty, and that really is the bottom line. And you don't build that over emails.
Right. Yeah. You build that over flaming Dr. Peppers, as Slava just put it. That's how you build it. And that's how you become, even though you might forget what happened that night, you'll remember later. It's just like you shared a moment, right? It's just like it, all of a sudden the equilibrium becomes like, oh, okay. And now there's a trust there that you just can't build over just like, here's an email, here's this, that, just like the relationship is what really builds that. And that's what rippling is great at, and again, teaming up Rippling with the Spice Buddies too, who are also great of just like being the welcoming force, explaining what the community is all about. So I couldn't think of a better combo there to have that as the opening, that happy hour of just like, hey, come with the Spice Buddies and Rippling to really batten down for what's going to be an awesome 3 days of infotainment, as we call it, right? Learning,
you better believe
and
it.
having good.
Yeah, I mean, we feel really strongly about this. Like, what's that saying that every business is a relationship business? Like, I certainly believe that. I also believe that like open lines of dialogue, especially for software companies, like that is invaluable. Like, we are unable to solve problems for people if we don't credibly understand what those problems are. And we're not always going to get that, as you note, from an email exchange. So it's just not really how it works, because no one is like, how forthcoming can you expect someone to be over that medium, So I firmly agree with everything you both said.
I think the honest, unscripted feedback
100%.
that comes from one-on-one is so invaluable for both the IT professional and the vendor.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I got to experience it a little bit last week at the Cidercade event, and everything you're saying, Mike, is just like Ben is kind of like he's in that, okay, yeah, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. Because it's just like all of a sudden when you put a face to an email, everything changes. When you put a person and a personality and a laugh and maybe an inappropriate joke or two to a person, you're like, okay, now we can play ball.
Yeah, no, you are absolutely right. And like Ben has a very charming LinkedIn photo. He's got a better energy in person. Like, you got to hang out with Ben in person to get the whole Ben experience.
No, it was great. It was again, I was thinking, man, Rippling Rock Stars is like, this is a good event. It's like they're perfect for the SpiceWorld event for sure.
Well, I got the opportunity to spend some time with Rippling last year at our Spice Buddy event at Shoals Garten, and it was a blast. We had so much fun. We had such good conversation. And a lot of times you think you go to these events and, they're about getting to know each other. They're not about making sales, but those conversations still turn to tech. And
they do.
And it was so enlightening for a lot of us who really hadn't heard of Rippling in the IT field at all. Some of us I've heard of Rippling before as far as payroll and accounting, but in the IT landscape, we were all pretty new to us. It was all very new to us. So, it was the IT professionals that were kind of grilling Rippling, like, well, what do you do? And how do you do this? And what can you do for us? So it was really, really nice to see, you're going out, you're having a couple drinks, you're bowling, which was super cool. And yet, it went back to IT and everybody got a really good education out of it. So It was awesome. I really loved hanging out with Rippling.
I love when our tech friends all of a sudden have that like moment where they just like kind of rise up like, oh, that's who you are. And then you see them everywhere. Shout out to Lex. We were talking before the show, and she sent a picture of some Rippling stuff she saw on a subway. Now you're going to start seeing them everywhere. Once you have that like moment, then you're like, oh, there they are. Oh, there they are again. Oh, there they are again.
Oh yeah, we're out there. They're all over my commute.
That's awesome. So, but Sen, we're going to turn it over to you. Obviously, you're the Rippling IT superhero, but you're also the Spice Buddies superhero, and you've got a decade worth of experience when it comes to SpiceWorld. So, we were talking about it earlier. Like, can you give some can you give 5 tips of like first timers or new timers going to SpiceWorld? And you're like, I have 5 sections that I can give you some tips.
Yeah, I have to narrow it down to 5 things.
But no, we got some time. So like, it's just say, hey, later Spice Buddies, and someone comes up to you and says, hey, I'm new to this event. What should I do?
I would start off before you go. before you go, you definitely, if you're not a member of the SpiceWorks community, you definitely want to join the community, introduce yourself, ask questions, start that connection early. It's always easier to make friends if you recognize the names and the avatars, which will most likely be on our badges. So that'll be really easy. So it'll be really easy to recognize the people that you do have some kind of camaraderie with. I would download the SpiceWorld app. Don't know if it's been released yet, but it will be released. So that's really good for using it to plan your sessions, track your schedule, and hopefully we'll be able to message other attendees on it as well. I would say pack smart. You want to bring business cards or digital ones. I know a lot of people have shied away from business cards over the years, but not having them, I'd rather have them and not need them than vice versa. And I still give out paper business cards as well as the digital. Pack some comfy shoes. Maybe even 2 pairs so you can switch them around. You're going to spend a lot of time on your feet. And of course, also this year, again, we're doing the Spice Buddy 5K. It sounds intimidating, but it's not. It really is just keeping track of your steps at the convention center, on the convention center floor. So definitely good shoes. Bring a sweater. Those conference rooms are cold. And it is November. I really don't know how the weather's going to be. I'm from South Florida, so I think everywhere's cold. So I always travel with a sweater. But those conference rooms can get very cold. So definitely bring a light sweater. Pick your must-see sessions, but leave time to explore sponsors and whatnot, the sponsor booths, and to be able to network with others. Can I keep going, Jeff?
Yeah, keep going, because these are good, and the chat is giving you some props in there. So yeah, keep going.
Okay. I would say visit registration early, so you can get your badge and your bag before the crowds get there first thing in the morning, if you can. That way you have time to take it back to your hotel room. If look, SpiceWorld, you get a lot of stuff even at registration. So unless you want to be carrying stuff around from the second you get there to the second you leave, if you get there early, you'll have time to go back to your room and unload that initial bit of swag. Look out for the orange shirts. That's going to be the Spice Workers. Spice Buddies also have shirts. We have black shirts with the image of our coin on the back and our Spice Buddy logo in the upper corner here. So be on the lookout for both of us. If you have any questions or if you need anything, don't be shy. Ask questions. And
I think that, and I'm going to give you guys props here on that too. You're going to be covering a lot of this in depth during the Spice Buddies boot camp as well. For the people who didn't get to see this event, I think that's invaluable. Definitely, if you're new or if you just want to have a good time, go check out the Spice Buddies boot camp as well.
Yeah, that's coming up next. That was my next thing. The best thing you could do as a noob is to make that first session be the Spice Buddies boot camp, because that's where we're going to go over in depth what to expect and how to navigate this amazing convention. So that's going to be your best bet, but you still need to know how to pack. So good shoes for sure.
Shoes. I can't.
Water bottle and a sweater.
Yes,
definitely. And get to that early registration.
It's really wild that it's just one of the few conferences. Like shoes, hydration. There's a lot of stuff that you forget about when you're in there, because when you get swept up into the moment, you realize just man, it's 2 a.m. and we're still walking somewhere. Look, we're walking here, we're walking there. Shoes.
Hydrate and pace yourself, because Austin nightlife is fun, but you want to feel good for the morning keynotes. So
yes.
Hydration is key.
Shout out to Jeremy for moving the party the last day. That's awesome. No, thank you, Sin. Yeah, for that. It's just it's critical. Did we say shoes? Because I'm going to say shoes. I'm going to say shoes one more time. Because it's you got to have the fit that matches. So it's it might be orange shoes. So this is your time now. go there to Fleet Feet or whatever your local shoe provider is there. Walk around with them a little bit because you're going to put some miles on them.
And remember, anybody that's coming to the venue or to the area early, definitely check out Spice Buddies on the Spice Buddies Discord and see what all we may have planned.
That's right. You have doing there.
Show up early.
And if you missed the Discord in real life, it's Slavas Crocs. Look for Slavas Crocs, and then and then you'll know. Follow him. That's awesome. Well, we're getting ready to wrap up here. This has been a great FOMO show. So thank you guys. So I'm gonna start with you, Mike, on some last words here. So what would be the last thing that you'd want some of the Spice heads or any IT pros that see this out there that you want them to get out of a relationship with rippling?
Well, the first thing I have to say after that many shout outs is I feel like I really have to meet this Slavic character. So that's number one. But beyond that, I think it's a lot of the things that we've touched on. We believe really strongly that community is going to be how we manage to, make rippling IT a productive relationship for you guys. And I think like we really, really firmly believe that being able to stand across from you, shake your hand, but then also like learn what your problems are and how we can help address them is the only way that we know how to move forward. And I think that's why we're so excited to be showing up in the way we are this year and for years to come. So I guess like my closing message would be like, we're here to stay. We're not going anywhere. And we want to hear all the ways that we can be a resource to you all. So yeah.
Well put, Mike. Thank you. Well put. Sin, last words here before we're 18 days out. What's the last thing you want to say to some of your friends before we get to meet IRL?
Don't forget to attend boot camp. 100%. Spice Buddies boot camp. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. I'm so looking forward to meeting all the new people that I've met in the community this year. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be educational. Everybody's going to come away with something that they can take back to their boss and say, yeah, I learned this at SpiceWorld. So I definitely got to go back next year.
Yes, I love it. I love to hear it. And I'm curious, just like, since I already kind of look like a caricature in real life, what is a caricature of a character going to look like when I go? I don't know. We're going to find out when we're at SpiceWorld. So Mike, Sin, thank you so much. I can't believe this is already episode 4 of the Road to SpiceWorld. We're down to 2 more shows. Party next Friday. And then the last episode will be Friday, November 7th, which will be 4 sleeps till SpiceWorld, where we're going to pull the curtain back a little bit on what goes into making SpiceWorld. So thank you guys so much for joining us today. And don't forget to tech yourself before you wreck yourself. And we'll see you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, guys. It was fun.
See you.
Yeah.